Right, let's move on to another game that I watched that you did not, and that was Livingston 0, Dundee 2. Tony, the first half of this one was absolutely pish. Really nothing much
Well, I
happened
saw
at
in the
all.
highlights that it was over. The first half was over in about 10 seconds.
Both teams played 3-4-3.
And who is it that's playing in it? Oh, Donnelly, DeLucas, who you tell me is good. I need that to be proven.
I thought he was
soon.
alright. I thought he was good earlier in the season, but his form's not been great recently. And it's him that's marking Joe Shaughnessy for both goals.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's necessarily too much at fault for the first one. I think it's just a kind of instant reaction of both players, and I think Shaughnessy has the better angle. Second one's terrible.
Aye,
He just completely
totally
falls
switched.
asleep.
Aye. So
the 3-4-3, right? So Dundee, I thought Dundee was the wildest of the two by far. They had the front three of Luke McCowan, Lyle Cameron, and Zach Rodden. I was like, what is this? What is this as a 3-4-3? What is this supposed to be doing? And it done nothing, really, for that entire first half. Like, McCowan was doing little bits, and I think that was, one of the only kind of decent bits of play for Dundee in that entire first half was McCowan kind of burst through the centre and I think beat a couple of players, and his shot was terrible at the end of it, but he done really well to get to that point. Cameron was non-existent, and Dundee really weren't much of a force at all in this game.
they took him off pretty sharp.
They took him off and brought in Bakayoko at half time, and that completely changed how Dundee were playing it. Immediately they were better. He won a header straight for like kickoff, and that just set the kind of tempo for the second half. Very unlucky. What is that disallowed goal about? Like,
Don't get it at all. He's nowhere near in the eye. I always thought it had to be eye line. I thought that'd be the point, because obviously that would.
How is he interfering with play? Unless in the way of like the whole thing of people say like, well, if you're on the football pitch, you should be.
If you want to use that language, yeah.
But otherwise, what is he actually doing? He's doing nothing that puts the goalie off. It's one of those decisions as well. I mean, I'm assuming by the letter of the law it is offside, because otherwise, why would you chalk it off? Well, it's Willie Collum, and he maybe just got bored. But like, it's. Nobody claims for it. He doesn't try to move towards the ball. He's not in the goalkeeper's eye line. He's just there. It's like...
He couldn't be less of an interfering in play. He deliberately doesn't interfere with play.
And it's another example of a goal that you just think nothing's wrong with it. And you think, right, that's it. I can celebrate this. I don't have to worry about VAR. And yet VAR's chopped it off anyway. And it's like I keep saying, it's only going to be a matter of time before every single fan of every single club gets stung enough by this shit that it's just not going to be the same.
And then
you're always going to have a doubt that a goal's going to get chopped off.
That was a big goal for Bakayoko.
I know, he was quite unlucky because he had a couple of other good chances that he should have scored.
Good, because he's had that. Bakuyoko's been a bit of a handful at times, but his finishing's been erratic.
Yeah, and that was a really nice finish.
And they get players need that for a striker. They're big moments, and then he obviously he's not playing in this game. He's lost his place. He comes on, he changes the game through his attitude and his ability, and then he scores. Then it's like momentum can be built up for him, but that's kind of taken away from him, and they have to get Big Joe, who's with a double, but like he's played at Easter Road. And I was surprised.
Like he's played for Easter Road for St Johnstone, and it's the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, but he's never. And the goals dried up for him last season. He didn't go. He was barely playing last season as well, and he only got 1 goal. So it's good to see Joe Shaughnessy back scoring all the goals. How was you watched this? You said, how was Silla?
He was all right.
I've not really seen him.
Not really much to write home about, to be totally honest.
And was Boateng still good? Fine. I like a bit of Boateng when I've seen him a bit.
I was more impressed with him in the county game. I would have said he wasn't on the ball quite as much, and then the second half they were going a bit more direct, which did help them. So, but he was decent. Like, I thought for Livingston, the first half they kind of threatened a little bit down both flanks, but every time it seemed to be like a low cross across the face of goal, like across the face, like the edge of the penalty area, that Joe Shaughnessy would just smash away. Shaughnessy could have been like a candidate for man of the match even without his 2 goals.
2 goals, aye.
But the front three for
it was Bradley, Newbley, and Anderson.
None of them were any good. None of them were any good at all. Quite disappointed by Anderson because he's a player I like. Newbley's just continued his form. Martindale has got moment of magic paralysis when it comes to Nubly at the moment, because it's just that's the only reason he must be playing.
Because he's playing shit.
Yeah, because it must be like, but he could do something out of nothing.
Must be hard to get motivated when someone tries to punt you for.
That's to play a part.
Yeah, like you don't want me to be here. So I mean, for Livingston, it just feels like they're going to get away with it. And Montano, stupid, really stupid with the stamp. Because I was thinking that I looked at the lineup. I was thinking it was quite forward thinking, using Montano in a back three. I'm thinking, well, he's going to get fought, and he does. He does a great dribble when he hits a shot in the first half. Montano playing from the back three, and then you've got Nubly, Bradley, and Anderson, and you've got Dan Mackay playing as one of the wing backs, and Penrice isn't absolutely shoddy getting forward.
Yeah,
we've seen it. So I was thinking that's quite an attacking, brave lineup. But then you're saying like they barely create anything, but I never know. I never know what to say when it's Livingston, because they'll be shit for 8 weeks. Then they'll get 3 or 4
we were
wins.
still saying at the start of the season we fancied them to go down, and I mean, I still would be a little bit concerned for them. Before the last couple of weeks, they hadn't lost a game, I think, this season at all, except from Celtic and Rangers.
Yeah.
So you kind of thought, well, but then the last couple of weeks they have lost, and they've not looked good while doing it. So, but yeah,
that does happen all the time.
They have these bumps, but then again,
because they're not that good, I suppose.
If St Johnstone want David Martindale, that is the chat. And if they,
well, it seems like very much so that they want a Martindale.
And if Martindale just wants away, because you have to remember as well, there's new kind of owners coming in at Livingston, or at least new. Yeah, it is a new owner coming in. So, and Martindale does so much at that club that an owner might be like, no, I kind of want to set up a structure where there's a proper director of football and a proper person that cleans.
How you pay for that?
That cleans the bus.
Someone.
Instead of Martindale doing absolutely everything.
I put the nets up before the game.
If he goes to St Johnstone, they probably will give him the freedom to do absolutely everything. So that's why it might appeal to him, even though it seems mental on the face of it, why he would leave this Livingston team, even though the vibes aren't good at the moment, to go to St Johnstone, where the vibes are horrendous.
Yeah, again, because he'll just get to build it again. Yeah, with probably slightly more money. Probably slightly more money than he gets at Livingston.
And you have to think as well, like, I mean, the one thing I
think it'd be a good move for St Johnstone if they could make it happen.
The one thing I worry about for anybody going into the St Johnstone job is whether it's still too early in the season that supporters will demand enough of a reaction to try and stay up, or at least to make it competitive. And I'm not sure the St Johnstone squad has the quality to do that. To be fair, if there's any miracle worker that can make this ragtag group of
shit
regens.
Aye, but it's
a decent team. It's definitely David Martindale.
When you look at that St Johnstone team, you're like, sorry, who's that? You're like, this is 10 games into the season, and new guys just appear every so often, like Star Trek.
Well, that's like Livingston over the years.
Yeah, it is. So maybe he'll be absolutely great. But like St Johnstone, you'd assuming he would have a slightly bigger budget than he would have at Livingston. If he could go into the market for January, get 2 of these random people that he finds. And then maybe they could. I mean, it would certainly be good for St Johnstone. But if I was them, I'd be thinking I'm keeping him regardless.
Yeah,
because I'd be confident he would get them out of the Championship if they went down. And without that, I would be thinking St Johnstone might just be in the Championship for ages.
Aye.